Satu Sabally, a name that's been making waves in the WNBA, has officially announced her departure from the Dallas Wings, leaving fans and analysts speculating about her next move.
Respect to Satu Sabally. She had the kind of take a respectful competitor has after the Fever beat the Wings.
In a world where the WNBA is home to some of the most elite and competitive basketball players, Sabally's exit is nothing short of a game changer. Her decision to leave Dallas isn't one of dramatic conflict, but rather a mutual respect and understanding between her and the organization. The 2024 season saw Sabally in top form, averaging impressive numbers that showcased her as one of the most versatile players in the league. With a mix of scoring, playmaking, and defense, she's a player who can do it all. Sabally's departure from Dallas isn't just about her personal journey, it's about the future of the league itself. She's a star in the making, and as we look ahead, it's clear that her next destination could drastically shift the balance of power in the WNBA.
You're the number one pick. People are going to go after you. Whether it's for the right or wrong reasons, but people are going to go after you because they see greatness in you. And what the WNBA is measuring.
The rumors swirling around Sabally's next move suggest one thing. She might be headed to join forces with none other than Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who has already made an indelible mark on the league. Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise in the WNBA has been nothing short of spectacular. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. Her skill set is unmatched, and her ability to take over games is a trait that's drawing comparisons to some of the greatest players to ever play the game. From scoring at will to making incredible passes and clutch plays, Clark has done it all.
One type of greatness against the other greatness. So, am I saying it's right that she's being pushed in the back? No, that's foul. That has no space in the sport, and we all know that.
The buzz surrounding her is electric, and it's easy to see why the idea of pairing her with Sabally has so many people excited. While Clark is already a force to be reckoned with, the addition of Sabally would create a duo capable of dominating the league for years to come. But why would Sabally leave Dallas? The answer is simple. She's looking to play alongside one of the brightest stars in the game today. With Clark leading the charge, Sabally would add a layer of versatility and experience that would elevate the Indiana Fever to championship contention. The Fever have already established a solid foundation with players like Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. But adding a player of Sabally's caliber would push them into the conversation as true title favorites. The potential for greatness is undeniable, and it's not just about the basketball. This is a calculated move for greatness. Sabally's numbers with the Dallas Wings speak for themselves.
In the WNBA, Satu Sabally has confirmed she will not be returning to Dallas in the next upcoming season in an unrivaled press interview.
She has been a consistent performer, averaging 18 points per game while shooting 45% from beyond the arc. Her ability to score, rebound, and facilitate is exactly what any team would want in a versatile forward. But there's more to Sabally's game than just the stats. Her basketball IQ is off the charts, and her ability to impact the game on both ends of the floor is what makes her so valuable. She's not just a scorer, she's a player who can control the tempo of the game, make her teammates better, and contribute in a multitude of ways. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark. This rookie is rewriting expectations at an alarming rate. She's already averaging over 25 points per game and running her team's offense like a seasoned veteran. She's a scorer, a playmaker, and a leader all rolled into one. The impact she's had on the WNBA is undeniable, and the league hasn't seen a rookie with this much hype in years. It's not just her play on the court. It's the way she's capturing the imagination of fans and drawing in new audiences. Clark is a star in every sense of the word, and pairing her with Sabally would create one of the most dynamic duos in the league. Sabally's admiration for Clark is not just about fan appreciation, it's about respect.
I've already communicated with Dallas how grateful I am because they've made this a home for me for the past years, and I'm working with them together in finding the next home for me because I've already played.
As a veteran in the league, Sabally recognizes the immense talent that Clark possesses, and her praise for the young star is a testament to the level of competition and respect that exists in the WNBA. Sabally has been in the league long enough to know what it takes to succeed, and she understands that Clark is a generational talent. In fact, Sabally has openly said that Clark is capable of doing amazing things, and when a player like Sabally, who has seen it all, says that about a rookie, it speaks volumes. The idea of Sabally joining the Fever is more than just a rumor. It's a possibility that makes perfect sense. The Fever have over $650,000 in cap space for the 2024 season, giving them the financial flexibility to make a big move.
For us, she makes tough buckets. She gives us another option on the floor to run our off-ball screening action for. She gives us another player that can play.
Adding Sabally to their roster would be a statement of intent. It's not just about filling a roster spot, it's about building a championship contending team. With Clark running the offense and Sabally adding her scoring, playmaking, and defense, the Fever would be a force to be reckoned with. The pairing of these two players would create a dynamic duo capable of taking over the league and securing championships for years to come. The Indiana Fever have been quietly positioning themselves as potential title contenders, and adding Sabally to their roster would be the final piece of the puzzle. The Fever have built a solid core with players like Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. With the addition of Clark, the team is already a major force to be reckoned with. But add Sabally into the mix, and the Fever could transform into a bona fide championship contender. For one, the Fever are sitting on a massive amount of cap space, and it's clear that they're not just planning to stay competitive, they're positioning themselves to dominate. By signing Sabally, they would not only be adding a player who can score, rebound, and create plays, but they'd be putting together a team with a perfect blend of offense, defense, and leadership.
I mean, I've already communicated with Dallas how grateful I am because they've made this a home for me for the past years. And
this would make the Fever not just a playoff team, but potentially the team to beat in the WNBA. Let's take a step back and consider what's at stake here. If Sabally decides to join the Fever, this isn't just a short-term boost for the team. This is a long-term power play that could reshape the landscape of the WNBA for years to come. The combination of Clark's scoring and playmaking with Sabally's defensive prowess and all-around game would make the Fever a nightmare for any team in the league. And with players like Boston and Mitchell already in place, the Fever would be positioned to contend for championships year after year. This isn't just about one season, it's about creating a dynasty. Clark and Sabally could lead the Fever to sustained success, and with the right moves, they could establish themselves as the premier franchise in the WNBA.
It looked like Satu Sabally possibly could be headed to Indiana. This very much has sealed
the league would undoubtedly take notice, and other teams would be forced to adjust to the Fever's newfound dominance. For the Dallas Wings, losing Sabally would be a significant blow. Not only are they losing one of their top players, but they're also losing a leader who has been the face of their franchise for years. While the Wings have the first overall pick in the 2025 draft and a new general manager and head coach, replacing a player like Sabally won't be easy.
Now, one player on the Dallas Wing team is up in the air, and that is Satu Sabally. Now, she is a free agent, and many people are speculating she could be headed all the way up to Indiana.
She wasn't just a scorer, she was the heart and soul of the team, a player who could take over games and elevate her teammates. The Wings will have to rebuild, and while they have promising young talent like Paige Buchers and Olivia Miles, losing Sabally's experience and leadership is a tough pill to swallow. They'll need to make some big moves to stay competitive, but replacing her unique skill set may take time. As if the rumors weren't enough, Sabally has been dropping subtle hints on social media that suggest she may already be leaning toward joining the Fever.
So Satu Sabally has officially said that she is gone. She is not coming back to the Dallas Wings, which I thought was interesting because I did think that with
liking posts about Indiana and interacting with fans has set social media on fire. And while these actions may seem innocuous, they've sent fans into a frenzy. In today's world, social media is often the modern-day version of a verbal commitment, and Sabally's online activity is fueling the speculation that she's already made up her mind. The Fever, however, don't need to rely on social media hints. They have the cap space, the roster, and the opportunity to build something special.
Satu Sabally is the fact that she's so well-rounded as a player. Last season, she averaged 18 points per game, 6.4 rebounds per game, and 5 assists on 45% shooting from three.
They're not just trying to make a splash, they're trying to build a dynasty. And Sabally could be the key to unlocking that future. As we look at the bigger picture, it's clear that Sabally's next move could have far-reaching consequences for the entire WNBA. If she joins the Fever, it would not only elevate Indiana, but also signal a seismic shift in the league's power dynamics. The Fever would go from being a solid team to one of the most dangerous in the league, And with Caitlin Clark already lighting up the league, it's hard to see how any team could compete with that level of talent.
Of the hour is, what do she feel about the Dallas Wings having this #1 pick? She has been extremely silent.
Of course, other teams are still in the mix. The New York Liberty, with their star-studded roster, would love to add Sabally to the fold. But their salary cap is tight, and while the emotional pull of playing with her sister and former college teammate may be strong, the practical realities of cap space and team chemistry may make this a difficult move. Ultimately, Satu Sabally's next move will shape the future of the WNBA. Whether she joins the Fever and helps create a dynasty or signs with another team, one thing is clear. The league is about to get a whole lot more interesting. The combination of Caitlin Clark and Satu Sabally is the stuff of legends, and the WNBA has the potential to become the next big thing in sports. The anticipation is palpable, and the next chapter in this story is one that fans won't want to miss.